Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Now in today's video, I'll be going through three books that I've read twice. Now not only are these three books all books that I've personally read twice, they're also just books that I believe any agency owner should read, okay? Now two of the books, which are these two, hopefully you can't see which ones they are. These two books are going to be very relevant for social media marketing agency owners, okay? So anyone in the advertising industry in general, really. And the final one here will help you regardless of which business you're running, okay? The final book I actually just recommend to anyone. Now, I've really strived to pick three books that you probably haven't found in other videos, at least from people in my industry, in our industry, in the SMMA industry. Because yeah, who cares to watch another video with like repetitions of the same books? So yeah, I've really strived to pick out some books that you probably haven't seen in other videos. That being said, I'm gonna go through them chronologically from the most popular and the most read book to the medium most popular and medium most read to the most unorthodox and probably the least read books of the bunch. Okay, now I haven't fact checked this, but I'm pretty certain that this is how it is. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let's start with the first one, which, as I said, is the most popular book and it's the most read one out of these three books. I'm almost 100% sure of that. So yeah, it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay, now straight off the bat, my first impression when I heard this name was, wow, that's a cringy name. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like, it just came off so wrong to me, and that's why this is without a doubt the book that I've had recommended to me the most times throughout my life. Okay, I've probably had 20 plus people recommend this book to me throughout the last 3 years. Okay, yet I didn't pick it up until like 4 months ago, and since then I've read it twice. Okay, the reason I was holding back and the reason I didn't want to get this book, even though so many people were recommending it to me, was simply the name, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It just came off so cringy to me. Yet I can tell you that as I've read it, I was so positively surprised. It really breaks down how to interact socially with people of all calibers. Okay, so what I mean by this is it breaks down how to communicate with people that are far above you. Okay, so way more successful business owners than you. It also breaks down how to communicate with people that are on your level. So for example, your team members or your colleagues. If you're running an agency, then you're probably going to be communicating more with team members that might be below you. Okay, I personally have 3 team members hired right now that are doing different tasks in my agency, and so it also breaks down how to effectively communicate with the people that are below you, so to speak, even though I don't want to say below you. Okay, I just want to say team members, really, but how to successfully and efficiently manage people that are working for you. Okay, so yeah, I definitely recommend picking up How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. As I said, I know the name is quite cringy, but you'll be very positively surprised. And yeah, I can already say that I will without a doubt read this book plenty more times. Okay, I doubt that I'm gonna read this book less than 5 times in my lifetime. Okay, and there's so many. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see, but there are quite a lot of. I've made a lot of highlights throughout this book. Of course, I'm picking the wrong pages right now. Yeah, there's just a lot of highlights throughout this book because there's so many valuable points, really. And so I like to just go through it sometimes and look at all the things that I've highlighted and kind of get a resume of all my favorite aspects of the book. Okay, so that's the first one, How to Influence People, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Okay. Now the second one, which is also, I believe, the second most popular out of the bunch, is going to be Scientific Advertising by Claude C. Hopkins. Okay, now this is probably one of the most read books in the entire advertising industry, if not the most sold and read books in the history of the advertising industry, and for good reason. Okay, it's a very, very valuable book. Now, Scientific Advertising was originally published in 1923. Okay, now I'm recording this video on the 30th of December, so one day before we're going into 2021. So yeah, this book is gonna, it's approaching 90 years of age. In other words, it's approaching its 100-year anniversary. Yet I was so surprised as to how much value I really found in this book. Okay, now truth be told, I didn't even intend to buy this book. I was on Amazon adding a bunch of books to my basket, and yeah, I believe I had added between 5 to 10 books to my bunch. I like to buy books in in bulk. So I was buying a bunch of books, and then they tried to upsell me on this book. It's like on Amazon, it's like other people who bought these books also bought this book, right? And so they upsold me on this book, and it was very cheap. I believe I got it for like £2 or £3 extra. Like, it was incredibly cheap. And initially I didn't even know what it was. I wasn't, I was completely oblivious to the existence of Scientific Advertising by Claude C. Hopkins, which is pretty embarrassing to say, because as I mentioned, it's probably one of the most read books in my industry. And so the fact that I was oblivious to its existence is just, yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing. Yet I'm very happy that, I'm very glad that Amazon upsold me on this book. And by the time I'd finished reading all the other books, I was stuck with this one. I was still like, what is this even? It's such a thin book, and it didn't seem very valuable to me. Just judging from the cover and how thin it was, I was like, this might just be something that someone has put together very quickly just to make some money, right? That was my initial thoughts. Those were my initial thoughts. Yet what you'll find is the complete opposite, right? With most of these books that are this thick, right, usually you'll find a bunch of fluff in there, right? And the most valuable stuff is going to be on just a few of the pages, yet they've made it very thick and very long to be able to sell it, okay? Whereas with this one, it's like they've just cut out all the fluff, and the result is that you get a thinner book that is quicker and easier to read, and all you're getting is all the important and valuable stuff crammed into a thin book, okay? So yeah, as I said, this book is almost 100 years old, and a bunch of the advertising methods that they talk about in this book are very outdated, yet there's just so much analysis of consumer behavior and human psychology that they've done in the process of reading this book and in the process of running, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of advertising campaigns. Even though this is 100 years ago, it still holds so much relevance. So yeah, Scientific Advertising by Claude C. Hopkins, I definitely recommend picking it up. Now, the final book of the bunch right here is gonna be Confessions of an Advertising Man by David Ogilvy. Now, this is probably my favorite book out of the bunch. It's difficult to say because I've grown very, very fond of this book as well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say that Confessions of an Advertising Man by David Ogilvy is my favorite out of these three. Just because, yeah, David Ogilvy has written a few different books. You can find David Ogilvy on advertising. You can find David Ogilvy on advertising in the digital age. And to be honest, those books go even more into the creative aspects of advertising than this one does. Those other books, they highlight, certain campaigns, like his Rolls-Royce campaign and his Volkswagen campaign. Like, they highlight specific campaigns. To be honest, I have never really, bothered to read them through page for page. It's just been like, always when I go through his other books, I've just skimmed through them, look for some inspiration quickly. They're not really books that you want to read. Whereas this one, once I picked it up and started reading the first page, I simply didn't let go of the book until I had read the whole thing. Like, it just caught me off guard. Like, this is top 3, if not like the most interesting book I've ever read in my life. Like, I just wasn't able to put it down once I picked it up, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I read it in one sitting, okay?
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't even know where to start describing this book. Like, it goes over all David Ogilvy's experiences through, I don't even know, 30 plus years in the advertising industry, and there are so many quotes that you'll find in this book, so many quotes that you'll highlight and find throughout reading this book that will just stick with you forever as an agency owner, okay? I have a whole note right here, with so many quotes that I've taken out of this book that I haven't even highlighted them. The way I did it was just I was reading through it, and then every time I found something interesting, I was writing it directly into my notes. So yeah, some of you have probably read my free ebook called The Agency, and at the end of my free ebook called The Agency, I believe it's my top 8 favorite Ogilvy quotes, and pretty much all of those 8 quotes come directly out of this book, okay? So yeah, I'm sure you guys will find some other valuable quotes that I didn't notice, even though I've read this book twice now, and that's just what makes it amazing, okay? It's, as it says, it's Confessions of an Advertising Man, and so it's really just him sharing all of his experiences through being in the advertising industry for so many years. And if you're still oblivious to the existence of David Ogilvy and you're an agency owner, then I definitely recommend doing some research, because as it says here on the back, David Ogilvy was considered the father of advertising and a genius by many of his high profile clients, okay? This man has literally shaped the advertising industry, okay? The way you would be looking at advertisements, branding, all sorts of different brands would literally be different if it wasn't for David Ogilvy. He's had such a huge impact on advertising and branding in general, okay? And he's worked with very remarkable brands, okay? So yeah, I out of the three, like, I definitely recommend picking up all of these 3 books, but out of the 3, this is the one I recommend you start reading first if you're a social media marketing agency owner. If you're just a fellow entrepreneur and business owner watching this video right now, then I definitely recommend picking up How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Now, you know, you can get all these books on Amazon. I've never been into the affiliate thing, so I definitely recommend you just jump on Amazon and get these books. However, I'm pretty sure one of my team members just set up an affiliate Amazon account for me a couple days ago. So who knows, maybe you will find affiliate links to these books in the description of this video. If not, just go on Amazon and purchase these 3 books, okay? They're all, you know, pretty affordable. None of these books are like incredibly expensive. And you can see they're all soft covers, okay? So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up all these big books. They're all very easy reads. Like, these are all books that you can read in 1 to 2 days each, okay? So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.